Wow. 7 pin. Just Richie know me, but, perfectly acceptable. Yeah. Yeah. Very exciting. I know Kevin is pretty good, although I'm not really sure about these other players, but, I'm pretty sure they can hold up on their own. Uh, Across the way, looks like Jeff is trying to fight a little for something. Richie Pinfu type hand, but definitely needs to figure out that 7-8, 7-9 shape to really get anything. Especially because if you draw around the Nakabukule shape to improve the way, you can deal in with the 7 pin. But we'll see. Uh, for Kevin, looks like he's just somewhat folding here. Just washing his way through. Ooh. Ryeonmin, Sunmin, Shan, 2 Shanpen. Bad. And on the right, looks like some good shapes as well. Already Ishanten on a Ryeonmin, Sunmin Shan weight. So definitely could be like not an easy Riichi to win for Nicholas here.
Yeah, still two 7-pin. Yeah, still two 7-pin in the wall. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
Blake. Thanks for covering all that commentary. I realized my mic was having some technical issues, and when I got that fixed, the volume just went max volume. So apologies to anybody if I just blasted your ears out.
Oh, and there's the sumo.
Yeah, did end up finding the sumo, and I don't think there was Uda there, but uh, it did put Nicholas over 30,000 going into South
Yeah.
2.
Very important to establish like a 30k baseline, even if it's just still somewhat early in the mid game
Yeah,
at South 2.
it puts Nicholas pretty close to catching Steven here. But
Yeah.
this is a really nice high pie for the dealer. Multiple diamond shapes as well as the Chun pair, able to call this down for Chun Dora 1. That'd be 2,900 points. To the right, that's a pretty good hand for Jeff as well.
Yeah,
I wonder if Jeff is willing to call the Haku here for a cheap hand. I'd almost prefer to try to keep this closed and declare Ichi. Maybe get Ipeko on top of things. We do see the Chun
yeah.
come out. Pull and made. Tempai found for Steven on the 2-5 so.
Uh, let's see. Waiting on door indicator and ooh, that might come out.
There's
No, not yet.
some reason for Jeff to keep this because it allows you to
Yeah.
incorporate the door 3 so in hand. Now this 5 so on the other hand does not really fit in the hand for Kevin. Might hold it just for a little bit of door acceptance. Ends up dropping away from the 5-pin pair. So not a believer in Ipeko or Chitoi or anything like that. Ooh, I
Okay.
wonder if he'll
Ooh,
go
worded.
north. Yeah, because this
North.
actually
Yeah.
gives him a chance to make Pinfu. That north
Yeah.
was his seat wind, so Pinfu was out of the off the cards. But now you can draw a 5 or 8 mon and have an
Yeah.
even Ipeko chance.
Oh, but there's the sumo.
And that will be Steven
Yeah.
extending this lead a little bit, almost up to 40,000 points now, with a dealer repeat.
Yeah. That just puts Nicholas like slightly further away. Can't just Mongon off of anyone to take first now, but you still have some time. You still have at least 2 rounds left, so you can figure out the game plan later along down the line.
Now, when you see 5 mon as the door indicator, before even looking at your hand, do you have any thoughts about the developments of the round?
Developments of the round.
Or really just about your approach in the round in general?
If I was like dealer here, I just see my Chun pair. I see that the 7-8 mon's a little bit far away from the Dora, but if it climbs down, it climbs down, right?
Right.
It's just 2 draws away.
Yeah, we were looking at Mongon chances for some of these players, and when you have such an easily usable Dora like a 5 Mon in this case, it's pretty easy for at least one of these players at the table to be able to use a couple Dora in their hand. We can see Kevin on the left has drawn the only Dora so far and is making good use of them. Already a
Yeah.
completed shape, 2 completed Dora shapes, and is in fact Ishanten currently. Oh, and a third Dora!
Ooh.
And that's really
Oh.
scary. Steven, without any Dora in hand, is charging forward with his Tune Call, trying to just end the hand before anyone can win a monster. But Kevin on the
Yeah.
left is getting close to actually putting it all together.
It's gonna be really difficult to figure that 788 shape out. Unfortunately.
Oh, Khan
Us caught.
into
Oh,
Tempai.
speaking of figuring that 788 shape out, the
And this is actually
Rin.
going to deal it
Oh
because Kevin can. No way you can use this 3 pin, and it doesn't even look that bad. But Kevin
no.
dodges. He thinks Tanya is the way to go with this hand, and
Oh
in fact
yeah.
saves himself from dealing to Chundora 1. And now Nicholas has paired up the 3 pin, so might not get rid of that tile. Kevin
Yeah.
doing the math here. Is this call worth it? The answer is yes. Ishanten now, headless. Sort of headless. You can use the 6 Mon as your pair and then drop the 3 pin, and that will deal in.
Oh, they find 10 part and unfortunately deals it for it.
Yeah, with the
But
extra food, this turns into 3,900 points. After all, there is a con of the two so, and the tune also gives 4 fu as well. I saw the tweet today. I guess today is counting Fu-riday, so we should count the fu for all of these interesting hands.
all right. So another dealer repeat. What do you think about Honitsu from here?
It's a thought. We
Yeah.
see one so leave before any of the trials. You could drop like 2 pin as well. That wouldn't be a bad discard. But there's also very good chances this turns into a normal hand as well. I want to hold floaters, middle floaters if I draw them.
Yeah, especially because like you still have to work that awkward 1-2-2 shape in the Monzu.
Right. And it could
Uh,
just be Itsu plus Dora with tiles in the other suits. It doesn't need to be Honitsu.
yeah. On the right, let's see. I believe that's Ishanten, right? Ishanten for possible Itsu.
Yeah, that also could be Itsu. Ooh, I would call that, but Steven wants to stay closed in this hand.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking like
I don't
Tanya
mind.
Dora. Just
Yeah, I
lock it
don't
down.
mind staying close, but
Oh, it gets rewarded.
yeah.
Now Ishanten, and there is a chance at actually making an Itsu here.
Ooh, this is that's not Tenpai, sorry.
Toyman looks like Honitsu is brewing over there. That 5 so
Ooh,
didn't really help, but now is Ishanten.
yeah, just Kanchan and Headless, so you're not super ecstatic, but Ishanten is Ishanten.
Well, with these shapes, Steven might
Oh,
end
I
up
guess
going Chinitsu.
yeah.
Could Chi here? Trying to think of which would be the best Chi. 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Probably not 5, 6, 7. Or 6, 7, 8.
I think yeah, that might be the best.
This remaining upper Mon shape is a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Ooh, could actually tack on Tanya. Not that it would increase the amount by much, but it is technically there. Nah, Chinitsu, Dora, that's perfectly fine. Take your Mangan.
You could get Itsu if you find a 3 Mon. Chinitsu, Dora, Itsu for
Oh,
Baimon. That would be insanity. Toyman, though,
mhm.
Tenpai for this Honitsu on the
I
7
believe
so.
this. I believe that's 7, right? Chinitsu, Dora.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Only 7. But this is Chinitsu Dora for Hanemon. And that would be
yeah.
18,000 as dealer. Waiting on 1 so 2 1 Mon 2 Mon. And there's a Ricci on the left. Ricci, Dora 2. 7
I believe
so.
this is 2 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two versus 3 versus
Oh,
across the way.
you have to
3.
push this.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to be pretty expensive. We'll check the Ura, but right now, Richidora 2. No Ura.
No Ura, but you know what? Puts Kevin within striking range, or closer to striking range at the very least. Just needs a Mongon Sumo to take first.
And we'll move
Ooh.
to Jeff's dealership. What do you do with this high pie? You count
I would
Kokushi
hedge.
tiles.
I would hedge every Yakuman that I possibly could here.
Yeah, ends up just dropping the 3-pin.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
A lot of, because you have two Yaku high pairs, you could call for a Honitsu here. But you don't
Yeah,
have many tiles in the suits themselves. So just
that
starting
is
with the pin
Dora.
discards. And maybe holding this
Uh,
9-pin to hedge Chanta.
on the right, looks like we see like a pretty normal hand. Just possibly like 789 Sanshoku if it climbs up there.
Yeah, or 6, 7, 8 if that climbs the other
Yeah,
direction.
yeah. Across the way, looks like Kevin's hedging Shinitsu or Honitsu a little bit, but ooh, does make a call. Okay, that seems fine.
Yeah, drew the 3-mon to fill the penchant in the Monzo as well. So this does look like the plan is angling towards Mon Honitsu with 2 Yaku high calls. Still holding this 4, so just in case a door is drawn, then you can make use of it in your hand.
Yeah. Can't cheat that just yet. Could toss Forso here. Yeah, I don't mind
Yeah,
that.
if you're not sure about the 4 or not, you could still cut Hatsu, which is twice cut. But this is just a commitment. Jeff says this is going to be Honitsu.
Yeah.
And that's that. Of course, we have the pay on the left. Steven in first place, just trying to end things here. That can act as a pair in the hand. That's a reasonable shape. You could cut 2 Forso.
Tatsu weight, 2 Forso. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's definitely more acceptance than whatever the Konchan.
Of course, there's always the question: do you cut the 2-so first or the 4-so first? As Steven does find Tempai on the 5-mon, 6-mon, and 9-mon. Any of those will win the hand. You cut the 2-so first if you think I can draw a Dora and I want to use it in my hand. And you cut the 4-so first if you think people are getting close to close to Tempai, and I don't want to have this dangerous 4-so in my hand when they declare Ricci. And Steven opted for the slightly safer route, and ended up finding Tempai immediately anyway. Oh, there's a nice draw for Jeff, advancing this Honitsu hand a little bit. 5-6 shape, looking for a 4-mon or a 7-mon. And then we'll have to choose a Tonki, one of these honors. What looks better, the East or the White Dragon here, the Haku?
I think for the sake of safety, I drop East, because at the very least it can't be pawn for, or now it's twice cut.
Yeah, so. And that East is the choice of Jeff?
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
One that more said, White Dragon in the wall.
Sorry, excuse me, I'm still trying to get the names. Steven or Nicholas drops a Haku. Kevin might be a little bit confused on why he can't immediately pawn.
Yeah, we'll see if Jeff has auto run turned on. Ooh, might switch here. 1-4-7 and no pawn. That's a cheat toy play for Kevin.
Oh, excellent dodge.
Of course, the East comes out.
Yeah.
Ricci. Ooh, this is late Ricci. This is the last turn that he even had to declare Ricci. And I think Kevin recognizes the Mazu is really bad here. Will probably drop something else, anything else.
Haku seems fine if you're folding out, which you don't have a draw left, so.
Yeah, just finding the safest tile here. 3 so it's pretty safe as well. And we'll see if this 2-5 Mon can win. No, 4 Mon looks so scary, but it passes. 3 players Tempai.
Ooh, if Jeff didn't switch, he would have won on Hote.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't even realize that Jeff switched. What did he switch to?
Uh, the two so looked a little dangerous from his perspective, I'm guessing. I didn't count how many three souls were cut out, so
Oh, I
you know,
see.
just
So he dropped a Mon tile in favor of holding
y-
the
yeah,
Chuso.
a one mon to be exact.
Oh, that's actually really big. That would have been a Mongon, a dealer Mongon win.
Kang.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what are we seeing here?
Ooh.
Nicholas, Daiming Khan. This is a play for Honitsu, I see. I
Yeah,
think.
but you have some like decent shapes already in the other suits.
Home.
Oh no, it's Toy Toy?
That I don't. Does he know that that's not the round one?
Yeah, we are in the South round, so East is not a value win for everyone at the table, only the player in the East seat, which is the player we're currently sitting in front of, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not too entirely sure what the game plan here is, but
We'll find
maybe he
out.
has insight that we don't know about. Hote no me.
At the very least, it also throws some confusion to the other players. If the Hatsu hadn't been cut twice, you might think that Nicholas had a pair or even an Anko of the Dora already and might put
Yeah,
some players on the defensive.
Beach.
Wow, fast Ricci from Kevin. Ricci Tanyao with two indicators could get expensive.
yeah. Waiting on 5-7. I believe that's, or sorry, 4-7. That's 5 left in the wall.
Yeah, that's a really wide weight, or really large number of tiles left in the wall for this weight. And I don't think anyone is close enough to chase, except maybe Jeff can get away with dropping the one so, and then, yeah, Tumon needs to, could even call for Tanya and try to fight that way.
Yeah,
There's a 4, filling one of the awkward shapes in the hand. And Tanya is actually realistic here. One so is the cut. Can pull in any number of...
Sumo.
oh, just sumo. Ricci, Tanya, sumo.
Oh,
No aura, unfortunate, but puts
misses.
it back on over 30k.
We get a sneak peek at Jeff's hand before we switch perspective. I saw two Chuns, and Chun is the Dora, so on the left, that is
Yeah,
definitely a hand to watch out for. The other player with a Dora is across the table, that's Steven, and we'll see how long he holds on to that. Once it gets dropped, it will be immediately called by Jeff. And our dealer, Nicholas, did grab the East. This is a value this time around, as Nicholas is sitting in the East seat.
and Kevin probably hard forcing Shinizu to try to overtake first.
You're right. Call the one Mon, really indicative of that case, and has multiple other good calls to be able to make in this hand.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Nicholas will be dropping any Monzu for Kevin to be calling anytime soon.
Yeah,
And there it is.
Chun finally leaves the hand of our Toyman across the way. That means Jeff grabs the call. This is 2
Chi.
away from Tepai for Jeff, but it might not be fast enough.
Dong.
Nicholas gets there first, and the
Oh.
Chuso leaves Kevin's hand for a fast 1,500 point victory. That actually swaps places. Nicholas in second now, and Kevin in third below 30,000.
But hey, you never know what can happen in all last.
Yeah, all that
Just
we've seen some crazy results in all last. Even earlier today, there was a B1 matchup, and at all last, one of the players, the player in the East seat, was making a comeback, had won 3 consecutive hands, and then in the final hand of that game, the player in first dealt in to another and dropped from first to second. So it was a Gyakuten of sorts by the second place player by not dealing in. It was quite exciting.
this is actually an interesting position for Kevin. Because if you score a Mongon 1 off of Jeff or sorry, yeah, Jeff or Nicholas, that's actually ties for first
With the Homba, you're right.
with the Honba.
8,000 plus 300 points would tie for first. Now,
All that being
this,
said, though, I'm not sure how you get money
Boom.
from this hand.
yeah, not once you see the Dora pawn on the left. Oh my goodness. With the Pei Anko already in hand, the value is there. It's going to be Pei Dora 3 or maybe even Pei Haku Dora 3. And there's a world where you could even get Toy Toy out of this.
Yeah, not super unlikely.
Yeah, for Kevin, all thoughts of value go out the window here. You just need to win this hand, and you're getting close. Shanten.
Ooh, folds. Tries to
Boom.
fold out, I'm guessing.
Well, has too
Or
many shapes. Drops away from the diamond shape because it has
Khan.
a chance of some issues on the 1-mon. Khan flips the 6 so to be Dora. Well, now Kevin has a chance.
ooh,
That's 2 Dora. Oh, feeling punished. Do you go back to Furiten? You would deal in to do so. And does!
ooh.
3 so
Oh
comes out,
no.
just making sure that he could take this win, but it is enough.
Dong.
It is enough for like barely first by 300 points. Or not first, but like over
Over
30K.
30,000, yeah. It will not be enough for second. And maybe that's what Jeff was considering. Maybe do I wait for Tsumo? Do I wait for either Steven or Nicholas to discard it so I can guarantee second place? In the end,
Yeah.
just took the win, took the positive score, and we'll finish with plus 0.3. Nicholas, who maintained second place after all of that, finished with plus 5.7. And it's Steven in first place overall with positive 22.8. Kevin, unfortunately, the only player below 30,000 after that deal-in, will take the negative 28.2. Slightly more Uma hit because there was only one player below 30,000, taking minus 20 instead of minus 15 for that. But all in all, it was a pretty low fourth, all things considered. I mean, you usually don't expect to be losing 28 points with a final score of 21,200.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I think like that's not too bad. I believe that still puts him is under demotion promotion zone, but it's not that bad under the
No.
like
And there will be plenty of more games to recover those points. We will see another one fairly soon, I believe. They have, in fact, started right away. So let's hop over there if we can. Should be under a minute before that one comes into action. And we haven't gotten to see a lot of C1 games this season just yet, but I know we've seen Kevin on stream a couple times in the past, and I've really enjoyed his style of play. This is my first time seeing Jeff play and Steven play, so I'm excited to see how they end up doing. And Nicholas, I think we watched a little bit of last season, so I have a little
last
bit more
session.
information. Well, last season altogether,
last-
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
a little bit more information on Nicholas, his playstyle.
Ooh.
It'll be Jeff first dealer, Nicholas to the right, Kevin across the table, and Steven on our left in game 2.
Steven already making a preemptive call for a possible ton, but definitely for Toy Toy.
Yeah, really looks like Toy Toy. Of course, you'd love the tone to add an extra value to your hand. Of course, when Toy Toy is in play, there's always some food counted shenanigans. You want Tone plus Toy Toy for 3 Han, and that would just be the 3,900 if it's only adds up to 30 Fu. But most times when you have Toy Toy, you also get 40
Yeet.
Fu for 5,200 points. So if you manage to complete the hand, we'll take a look. But it's actually Nicholas who gets the Ricci first.
Yeah, Ricci Pinfu. Just Ricci Pinfu.
Yeah.
You know, good weight. So this is a pretty acceptable Ricci. I mean, I say good weight, but we also see like 4 of the winning tiles in other players' hands. So
Yeah,
I
one
believe
even
that's 3 left in the
discarded.
wall.
So only 3 left in the wall, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, it does come out from Jeff. Not too entirely sure what he was pushing there.
Did
Oh,
find an
and the
Uda.
aura. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty 39.
It was a dealer hand with Tanya. I probably thought it was safe enough with the 2-7 7 mon in hand, but Nicholas did have one of the 7 mon and led to the deal-in.
Yeah. Uh, let's see here. Nicholas's hand doesn't look too great in terms of speed,
Oh,
but there is value in Dora 2 Ipeco.
oh, I
Just
I thought with the Dora coming out from Steven across the way, we might see a pull. I might be greedy for that. I have been known to call
oh
a
yeah,
Dora pull without having a Yaku.
yeah, but I feel like with this hand it's perfectly okay. It's definitely going to be very very difficult to find a Yaku.
Yeah, it's almost like you'd have to be going for Chinitsu at that point.
Yeah, which honestly, now that I think about it, not a bad idea. Oh, hard punish. Keeping the tune over the 3 pin would have filled that Kanchan, but
Yeah, we'll see. Well, the thing is, Nicholas didn't know you were watching. And of course,
yeah,
for viewers who aren't aware, when Blake is watching your game, you just fill like all the conchons before the diamond shapes. It's just
you
a thing
you
that
you
happens. It's a
you fill all your bad shapes
yeah,
before your good
it's
shapes.
a statistical anomaly. I've seen it happen over and over and over again, so it's well documented. Uh, and these players just didn't realize that it was Blake in the booth.
Yeah.
That being said, Toyman has called twice and is Tempai on the Sanzo, the 3-so. However, it's being held. Kevin's got 3 of them, so only 1 left in the wall for this win.
This could very well transition to okay. I was about to say Chitoy, but I guess we're just gonna call for Chinitsu,
Yep, Nicholas
which
has found the
perfectly
path.
acceptable.
Does need another 7-so here, and there is.
Unfortunately, it's completely dead. I don't see it leaving Kevin's hand. It is twice cut and is the door indicator.
Yeah, and we do have Toyman switching the weight, leading to this pawn. It's now a 4-so 1-mon Shampoo.
That being said, this could very well easily transition to Toy Toy, Chinitsu, Dora, Dora 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean, if Toyman draws another 8-so, unless they're afraid that it deals in, it just doesn't fit in the hand, so it would naturally leave, and we might see a
Yeah.
Poland, and that could lead to the Toy Toy. Oh, I would
Ooh,
hold
this
this,
might be
but
a
there's a con
con.
available. Yeah, the reason I would hold that is because you can chi a 6-so, 5, 6, 7, and then you can pull an 8-so or 9-so for the win.
Yeah.
Or Roan, I guess, at that point. But Khan does spice things up a little bit. 2-pin now the Dora.
Jeff recognizing that Nicholas is in uh Chinitsu recognizes the danger, but probably doesn't see the fact that it deals into someone else entirely.
right. Yeah, 4-so actually safe from the scary dealer hand. And this is the scenario I was talking about. If we still had our
Yeah.
5-so in hand, we would actually be Tempai,
Waiting on
ready to win on the 8 or 9, yeah. Unfortunately, for Nicholas, Kevin would be holding all of those tiles, so would not be able to win, but...
You know, Tenpai is Tenpai, just take the K-10.
Ooh,
Ooh, we might see a weight switch here.
this is a bad draw. Neither of
Yeah.
these tiles looks safe, but we'll push it out anyway.
I mean, it's one chance on the 2-so and the no chance on the 5-so, so I think that's a perfectly acceptable push.
But remember, we were considering the option that Nicholas was, Chinitsu Toy Toy, right? 3-so
Yeah.
dealing into a Shampoo it would be pretty bad. And he couldn't see any of the Sanzo at all because Kevin was holding them all, but did decide to push it and was rewarded with the K10 payments.
Yeah, it does put him in first. Well,
When I
only
say
100
K10, that was
points.
actually just a Tempai with the Yaku, but
Yeah. But yeah, that does put him over by 100 points, but it's not a lot, but it does feel a little good.
And was Steven the only player who took Duke positive in the Dukyoku payments?
Yes, the only player in Tenpai.
So that was even
Now,
more valuable than winning the hand itself.
yeah, Kevin with a really interesting hand here. What do you think about Junshan Sanshoku Dora?
I love the idea, but this is Tempai already. What about just dropping
This is
3-1?
3-1.
I
I like.
I actually kind
I
of like
really
that.
want it. I really want to use Dora
Because
Sanchoku.
this is just Richie Nomi, but if you could get Richie Sancho Dora... Oh, never mind, this is perfect. This is just
Ikatsubo.
perfect. If you
Yeah,
know you're going
easy
to draw the
2000
2
all.
pin as the next draw, you just absolutely take this.
Yeah, Kevin, playing with the wall flipped up right side up. So
It is, of course, the idea of the Sancho Dora is appealing, but it's very rarely wrong just to take a dealer Ricci and see what happens, and ended up
yeah,
getting very rewarded for doing so. And that will put Kevin into the lead with 35,300 points. Has a reasonable high pie here as well, could turn into Tanya with this Dora 5 so in hand.
yeah,
2,900 minimum.
very easily callable. Uh,
Just adds to
on
the
the
appeal of the high pie.
on the right, we have some pretty decent shapes, but no pair. There is possible. No, not with that 9 mod drop. But I was gonna say there was a possible Itsu, a somewhat distant but possible Itsu chance.
Yeah, and just
Cross,
decides to forego it with a 9 mon
yeah,
discard.
which is relatively reasonable
All the
in my
shapes
opinion.
across the way do look good until you get to the Sozu, but those are starting to come out now as this head has reached Isha 10.
Uh, what do you think about 9 so over 7 so there?
Mm, I think 7 so is fine. We are hitting the end of row 1, so I'm sure it's a safety consideration. 9 so
Yeah.
allows you to draw a Yamen on the 6 so technically slightly more efficient. I'm sure it was just a safety consideration. 3 so will not
Ooh,
deal in because Toiva did not
no
declare Ricci.
Yaku.
There's no Yaku here, right?
So what do you think about Itsu for Toyman?
It's, I mean, if you draw a 2 mon,
If you draw 2 mon,
I think you just break away from the so block and then you might end up in Itsu.
yeah, because a 7 wide shape is actually like accepts a lot of tiles at Ishan 10.
Even
So
if you draw something like the 9 mon or a 5 mon, there's a lot of good draws that could convince me to
Eat.
switch away. Other than the fact that like we've hit the middle of the second row.
ooh, Kevin, Ricci,
Pump.
Pinfu, Sanshoku confirmed.
Wow.
Insane hand.
I didn't even
Uh,
use the Dora. Reached that out of the hand. That gets pulled by Steven, who has a Mongon. This is a hand worth fighting for, especially if you don't think the dealer's hand is that valuable, given the fact that they've discarded the Dora and you have 3 of them. We can see where
however,
the hidden value.
yeah, this is uh very unfortunately like non-dealer Mongon versus dealer Mongon.
And of course,
And
dealer Mongon's worth 12,000 points compared to the 8,000 of a non-dealer Mongon.
this is Tenpai. Not a great weight, but Tenpai's Tenpai.
And 3 is Genputsu to the Ricci, so it could come out from a player who's trying to be defensive.
Oh, we've completely ignored Nicholas this
Eat.
entire hand.
Well, can't
This is
anymore.
Tenpai.
Ricci,
I was a,
Tanyao potential, and Ipeiko potential if the 4-pin comes out.
I was about to say it was Ishan 10 for Chitoya Tanya,
I mean, it's
but
Ishan 10 for Suwako in its current state, but chose to take the Ricci instead. And
yeah.
get the
Sumo.
Sumo!
Oh,
Look
the
at this!
sumo
Wow!
at the expensive end. No.
Yeah, that's expensive in 2 ways. You get Tanyao and the Ipeiko, and that's going to be a Mongon for Nicholas. Well, there were 3 Mongons battling it out, and the first attempt by Jeff ended up just folding away in respect to those larger, much more valuable hands.
Yeah, perfectly acceptable fold considering you are waiting on the 3 so, which probably won't come out as it's very close to the Dora.
Well, it is Steven now, the dealer. Hypai is okay. I want to make a Sancho out of this somehow, but probably just going to play standard efficiency and feel a little bit sad that you dropped the Chun instead of the Haku, but that was the right play. And draw Dora and, work towards a Rishi Dora in this hand. For Jeff on the right, we have excellent shapes. Could be a Tanyao, could be Peiko. There's a Dora in hand already, and you can even add more. Just really strong Hypai for Jeff. Across the way, Nicholas is working towards a Ricci Pinfu, is 2 away from Tenpai there. And on the left, we have Kevin with also pretty strong shapes. The 8 Mon is being held because that connects to the door tile, but that is the lone floater in this hand, and will probably leave pretty soon.
Oh wait, that 5-1. I actually don't hate it. It hedges Sanshoku and Itsu.
Yeah, trying to hold all of these pin blocks and the 1-2-3 Sanchoku chance. You can't get both, but holding the option for both. Yeah, you can't float the Sanchoku and the Itsu and the door acceptance, so you have to decide which one you value more.
And technically Sanshoku and Itsu are both 2 Han over the one door accepting tile.
Well, as we see, Jeff, with that gorgeous start, is the first to Tenpai after drawing another Dora, Richi, Tanyao, Richi Tanyao Dora 2 with potentially Peiko. If you sumo Formon, this is a Hanemon.
Yeah. Or just find any Ura
Absolutely.
on the Formon.
And the weight's
Formon,
pretty strong.
weights, yeah, I believe it's 2 each.
Right.
In the wall still.
And
yeah, I can't imagine that Formon coming out of Steven's hand anytime soon. Or not Steven, sorry, Nicholas.
yeah, it certainly fits well. Now, if Nicholas draws another one, oh, just sumo.
Just sumo.
And there's our Hanemon. We'll see if he can flip Ura 2 or 3. No, but that's...
No.
This is more than enough.
Yeah, I believe that puts him in first? Or, no, it's just second.
Yeah, Nicholas had that big Mongon win that really pushed him far ahead. But this puts Jeff in fighting position for first. Unfortunately for Steven, just happened to be the dealer during that monster hand. And so, because the dealer pays twice as much on sumo, had to pay out 6,000 instead of 3,000, and is now in 4th place as a result. However, I'm looking at that hand on the left and thinking, Honitsu, Toi Toi, Chinitsu? This could be a value play, a value hand back. I would pawn this too. Yes, let's go.
Yes, pawn, yes.
Shinitsu is happening. For our dealer, there is a door in hand. You are slightly concerned that the door left the hand on the left already, and there's 2 pawns, 2 calls, so you might want to speed your hand up. If you're Jeff in this position, do you start calling for 1-2-3 Sanshoku?
I think you have to, and like, I wouldn't even mind keeping Force so around in case like you're a lot closer to Tanya instead. But
Well, we see
there's really not much you can really call, right? So I think he's just gonna bail out here.
After a third pawn from Steven on the left, we see a 1-so cut. That's definitely a safe tile. And oh no, if this 2-so comes out, does that deal in? It does, because this is a Yaku for Kevin across the way. It is south only. Well, now Richi south, waiting 3 mon, 6 mon.
Well, there's only 2 left in the wall, however. Wait, 2? Yeah, 2 left on the wall.
Amazingly enough, the 2-so was the better weight. But the Richi here is saying, I know what you're going for, Steven. You have to drop mon tiles. And wow, how did Jeff manage to find ahead? I thought he was folding. But look at this. It's a 147 pin weight. Richi, Pinfu.
Just Richi Pinfu, but perfectly acceptable as dealer. Especially because of how wide your Pinzu shapes are, you can be a little bit hopeful and say, "Ooh."
Tenpai on the left. It's so tense right now. 4 pin would deal into Mongon.
4 pin deals into a Mongon and what?
And the dealer Richi Pinfu, right?
Yeah.
So actually, Kevin might be in a little bit of trouble here, but 3-6 mon still left. Oh, there's the 1.
Oh,
now deal to the dealer, but not the other side. You're not too upset if it's just Richi Pinfu. Yeah, just 2,900. Yeah. It could have been so much worse.
So much worse. Ooh, this hand could. Cheetoy?
You're calling this Cheetoy? In the business, we call this a very real Daisongan TM.
Okay. Look. we
I'll say,
already had our we already had our day of of a bunch of Yakumons. I think it's okay to take a little bit of a break from all those.
look, if this 7-pin was a Haku, this was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. But
It was gonna happen.
now I think the other Haku is gonna come out, and at best it could be Shosangan.
Yeah.
Jeff will still hold it. Don't need to
See,
discard it just
yeah.
yet.
See what happens. See what happens.
We could pair it up.
It's not like you really want to call the 3-pin anyways.
Right.
You probably will just for Tenpai, but you know, you never know.
Honestly, he might not. It depends on how much pressure he feels from the other players. Because if you call it the 3-pin, it's really hard to use a Dora if you draw it. But if you let the 3-pin pass and you draw a Dora, you might not feel so bad about dropping the White Dragon then and giving yourself,
The door accepting shape.
exactly value with using the Dora or by calling the Hatsu.
Yeah.
Now that
One or
we've
the
reached
other.
the kind of close to the middle of the second row, in terms of Jeff's discards at least, might be more willing to just try to win the hand now.
Yeah, Hatsu's there's fine. I was about to say there was a loose 1-pin from Steven, but managed to finish the Ariana shape. And then here we have Jeff taking the efficiency this Tenpai, waiting on 1 and 4 pin.
Boom.
And so
Oh, the one
Like
does
that.
come out, and that will deal into Chudora 1 for 2,900 plus Omba.
yeah, not a deal and you're entirely happy with, especially because I believe you went back like a couple Shantans just to try to pass that 1 pin.
Well, in Steven's case, the had 2 pairs and had to choose which pair to discard. And I'm guessing was thinking about the Tanyao possibilities in the hand, but 1 pin is Dora, so I think it's more
Yeah,
valuable just to hold the 1 pin in your hand to discard your other pair. But it's so tempting, like when you draw a tile and you say, oh, I can use this as a pair in my hand for Tanyao, to like reject it and throw it back.
yeah. Definitely gotta like keep an eye out for that shape. Jeff already Ishanten.
Yeah, this Hypai has
And
been wild. This is Tenpai. We'll see if he takes it or if he damas, because there's Sanshoku upgrade. Oh,
there's
chooses.
Sanshoku, there's Itsu, there's so many things that could happen.
Okay, there were a couple options there. You could drop 1 pin and Dama. You could drop 1 pin and Ricci. Or you could reject Tenpai altogether, and that's what Jeff chose here. Wants to Ricci, but wants to take the widest chance of being able to get a good weight Tenpai, and so drop the 6 instead. Even had the chance to make the same play and rejected that choice again.
Yeah, I think the best cut would be Orso there to get the golden Ishanten for possible Itsu and possible Sanshoku.
I think if you're
But I think
rejecting
this
Tenpai,
is a
this is the most efficient. But yeah, Forso gives you maybe more Sanchoku options, and taking the Dama also gives you the Sanchoku option while still allowing you to win the hand.
Yeah.
But the 1 pin was kept in hand. We'll see a Ricci on the left, Steven trying to come back with a Ricci Nomi waiting on the 3 mod. And we might say chase here.
Ricci Chase winning on 2-5 pin.
Oh, but there's that sumo.
Sumo.
They do say Kanchan beats Dianmen, and it's true in this case. They also say first Ricci is very strong, and the chasing Ricci did have the better weight.
I believe it was 4 versus 4, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's so unusual. The Kanchan has equal number of weights in the wall as the Diamond weight. But that does advance the dealership, so let's change perspective to Nicholas, who will be our South 2 dealer. The door is the Chun, and we see that already leave the hand on the left, 1 being held by Kevin on the right. And for the dealer, I'm pretty optimistic about these tiles. They are central tiles, so it's a little bit more easy to build shapes.
Yeah. Definitely a little awkward though. Like, you don't like. Yeah, they're central, but they're still not that great. It's like it's just a bunch of twos, right? Your only real central tile is like the Forso.
Yeah, if we're talking about the floating tiles and not the ones that have already completed shapes. However, that
Yeah.
2-so did connect to a 4-so, so that's a slight improvement.
Great.
This is Zishan 10. However, Jeff gets there first. Wow. Ricci
Ooh.
Cheat Toy winning Hellweight East.
I like it. I love it.
Shigokutanki. Well, if anyone draws the East, it will come out. The only question is,
It-
will somebody draw
Who
the
draws
East?
it? Who draws it? Yeah.
Is it in the dead wall? That is always a concern as well when you take a Ricci like this. And another concern is, will people not respect your Ricci and just chase you down? Because then you will have guaranteed the worst weight, or at least tied in terms of the likelihood that it comes out.
Ooh, 8-pin? Or 5-pin. 5-pin is good too. Yeah.
5-pin's
we
good. This is Ishan 10 for dealer. There is a lot of incentive to chase, but actually it's going to be Toyman who chases and will get the pots to deal in.
No. Just Ricci pots, I believe.
Yeah, no
Ura.
Uda, unfortunately for Steven, but that does increase the lead in third place. Or yeah, that's third place, and actually gives Steven a good chance of getting over 30,000, even taking first. We'll see. In the meantime, it is Kevin who needs to go on a little bit of a
Wait,
streak
it
here.
was the Ura indicator. The last tone was the Ura indicator.
Oh no! So that weight was actually completely different. That's always the danger of taking a hell weight Ricci. I had one in one of my own games. I said, I like this weight. I'm going to go for it. And it was revealed to be in the dead wall. And I had no chance of winning. Oh no. A DC is not good. We'll see if hopefully Kevin can reconnect in time.
Yeah, especially when your dealers are trying to climb back up.
Yeah, and hopefully it happens.
Oh no,
that East.
Kevin. Oh, my heart goes out to you, buddy.
Yeah, Steven has a pretty fast hand on the right. And fortunately, it looks like Kevin came back before Ricci, but sees the East and immediately dumps the other one in hand. It's really unfortunate. Well, how about Toyman's hand? That one is coming along pretty nicely to away from Tempai. No Dora, no real value there, but doesn't need a whole lot of value to maybe make it over Nicholas in first place. And on the left, Nicholas has Tanya perhaps with 2 Dora. I would try to call as much as I can to complete that hand.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty impressively, despite having been disconnected for a couple turns, Kevin is already Tempai with Ricci Pinfu. So
honestly, now you're not even that mad that you saw double taunt, especially since none have come out.
Right. This is a perfectly acceptable Ricci. We can see that the 7-so is being held, but Ippat Sumo! Oh my goodness, perfect draw after perfect draw.
Actually rewarded for dropping the taunt when he did.
That is so funny, because if he had held the taunt, probably would have discarded the 1-3 pin, but instead drew, was forced to keep it, drew the 2 pin into temp. I found the Ippat Sumo, so actually rewarded for the disconnect. That is insane.
Hey, as I always say, we fill those.
And Kevin will continue on as the dealer, has made it over 30,000 now. Dora can be accepted into this hand, but now has 2 dragon pairs. Unfortunately, the Hatsu, the green dragon, has been twice caught already, so it can't be anything more than a pair in this hand. And it might leave this hand presently.
Pawn
10, there we go.
Just use it as the pair then. That's perfectly acceptable. Waiting on the 7-mon, and there are 3 7-mon on the wall. They could be used by all the players around this table, so not a guarantee that they'll be around, but there are good sumo chances here. And can anybody catch up to Kevin here? Who has a good hand?
Doesn't really seem like... I guess Nicholas does have a callable hand.
Yeah, looking for the pay went Otozuke, calling the 8 pin.
I don't think I like that 1 pin cut though. It does essentially lose your pair.
Yeah, and here's Steven on the right drew an upgraded shape, 6-7, had to drop one of the pairs, but again chooses to drop the Dora pair, which severely decreases the value of the hand. Let's see. The shape's very good, though, for Steven. So, Ishanten with a chance to win this one.
Each.
And this will be Tenpai.
Ooh, I really want those two Dora back.
Yeah, right now it's just Richi Pinfu. Could be Richi Pinfu Dora 2 for Bongon.
Yeah.
The difference between
so
2,000
scary.
and 8,000 is pretty significant here. But this is the first.
Kang.
Oh, Khan.
On? Oh.
That's Khan into a fake Tenpai. This cannot win on the left. Yeah, calling Khan when another player is declared Richi is always a little bit suspect. And there's a Tsumo. We'll see if the Khan pays causes extra pain. Richi, Tsumo, Pinfu, and Ura-san!
Oh no!
Okay, so we thought the Dora cut was a mistake, cutting one-so, but Steven knew that he would flip to Ura on the 6-pin, and that's why the 1-pins didn't matter. See, Steven was just a step ahead of us the whole time, and the Khan did pay, make everybody around the table pay, as another Dora was flipped to turn that 8,000 points into 12,000 Hanemon. So yeah, always be careful about calling Khan when there's a Richi at the table. And wow, what a comeback from Steven from last into first place. 37,000 points in all last. This is looking like a Honitsu, perhaps, for Mr. McMeat. And we'll see perhaps a Hatsupon come out eventually. Kevin won't discard it just yet because he's also going for Honitsu. And yeah, Steven committing.
I don't think that's Honitsu. I think that has to be Chinitsu, fortunately.
Oh, for Kevin, yeah.
For Kevin, yeah.
For the manga, there is Dora in that hand.
Would be Hanemon. But it's definitely going to be struggling to like find the. I was about to say finding the 7 or the 7 for the 8-9 shape. But immediately cheese it out. So
well, that's because Toyman is also going Honitsu, but in the Sozu. So we have So Honitsu, Pin Honitsu, Mon Chinitsu.
I believe that's.
And what's happening on the right? It looks like just an Atozuke for the Haku. This is wild. Everyone's calling like crazy here. Khan. Let's go. Let's make it more exciting.
Another Khan.
East came out already. But Honitsu hands could definitely use it.
Yeah.
No, okay, East is gone. No longer usable by the hand. Khan not going to have an effect on this table, not with everybody open. So that Khan actually just adding food to Nicholas's hand here.
Ooh, 4-pin, that gets cheated.
Yes, and we'll see when Honor come out, presumably. There goes the Chun. That actually is critical. It prevents Jeff from calling it. Actually, Jeff is turning this hand into Honitsu. How? I don't know. We're going to have 2 Mon Honitsus. A Mon Honitsu, a Mon Chinitsu, a So Chinitsu it looks like at this point, and a Pin Honitsu.
How is this possible?
I don't know. I do not know. Ishanten for 3 players. Jeff is the only player who is missing 2 tiles for Tenpai.
Oh, that looks awful, but you have to, right?
What choice do you have? You're in 4th place.
Yeah.
Holds the door instead. Ooh. Really relying on pairing up this door, but it's not going to happen. Toyman Tenpai for Chinitsu Toy Toy. Chinitsu Toy Toy and Sumos!
No!
And there's going to be a Hanemon to take over first place. It's Nicholas who's going to come out on top after all is said and done in this wild, wild hand. Take a moment here to just look at the presence of tiles around the board. And then we'll go to the end screen. Nicholas plus 28.0 with that Chinitsu finish. Steven with an incredible comeback hand. Hanemon to get into first, but lost it at the very end. Well, didn't lose it as much as having Nicholas just snatch it away. That's still going to be a positive score for Steven, plus 6.0. Jeff will fall down to 3rd place, negative 10.2, and Kevin in 4th with negative 23.8. And okay, that was something. I'm not sure.
That was a crazy all out.
I don't think I've ever seen a hand quite like that. I mean, 2 Mon Honitsu / Chinitsu hands, 1 So, 1 Pin, and the Sozu ended up winning out.
We had 4 flushes. 4 flushes. 2 of them were full flushes.
And they're not done yet. They went on a little bit of a break, but they will be coming back in a few minutes to play game number 3. And I think we'll stick with this table because I want to see more from
Yeah,
from what's
I
going on
wanna
over
see
here.
more of that.
Let's
You know,
take
that is what I like to call the Mario Party table. That right there.
and that's not to say that like going for Honitsu Chinitsu here was bad play.
Yeah,
That was necessary
I
from
I
Kevin.
think
That was like Jeff was playing defensively and just found his way into Mon Honitsu. That worked out his way. Steven just
yeah.
drew into pin Honitsu. That they made perfect sense. And Nicholas ended up winning the Chinitsu.
Yeah, I think every Chinitsu and Honitsu there was essentially like mandatory given like the hands and what they drew. It's just I don't think I've ever seen such a wild ride.
And it was glorious to behold.
Oh, I'm glad for today. Wow.
Yeah, have we? Yeah, there goes the score update. So when all said and done, Jeff falls a little bit in the standings, was ahead of Barry for a little bit, but now falls back to third, still very comfortably in the promotion zone. Kevin drops down a little bit further as well in 8th place now, just sandwiched in between Ray and TJ, fighting to get to that 6th slot, that bottommost promotion slot. Steven makes some progress in the negatives, heading towards the positive zone. And Nicholas, after that one, also jumping up a bit as well. And of course, we look at the standings here. There are no demotions in C1. However, there are 6 promotion slots, and it is possible that there may be a couple promotion slots added, depending on how the season pans out, if players feel like they need to take a break or have situations where they need to go on hiatus for the next season. That sometimes allows for extra promotions. So that's something that all the players in C1 and really every division take into consideration. Of course, admins do a good job of keeping everyone informed about situations as it approaches the end of the season, and we're only halfway there, so a long time before we really need to consider that. This is the end of the 3rd session. This is, I believe there's 2 more days after today of games in session 3, and then we'll be all caught up and heading straight into session 4.
Yeah,
Blake,
I
I know
think
you
it's
have
just
some games to
tomorrow.
play.
Yeah, I have 2 games to play tomorrow. I don't think they will be streamed unfortunately, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, weekend streams do tend to be a little bit more rare, especially when regular commentators are the ones who are playing. It would be funny to have you commentating your own game, though, on
You
stream.
know, that I feel like that would be a very interesting idea, but for the sake of because I obviously cannot stream like my game live
Right,
with a
you would be
5 minute
playing
delay.
your game and then commentating on the 5 minute
5 minutes
delayed game.
behind.
Exactly. It
I
would.
feel like that would be very difficult.
Your Dawn rating would probably drop by 3 or something like that. But it it
No, I'm so
I don't know
bored,
about you.
Don.
I know mine would at least.
I'm just bored, Don. I don't want to go back to one Don.
Well, it looks like this game's about to start. It will be Nicholas, our first dealer. Nicholas, who just won that last one. Kevin, who's trying to make a comeback in the south seat. Across the table, it is Steven in the west
And
seat.
oh, we already
And
have
left,
Nicholas
Jeff.
already DC.
Oh, that is problematic. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Nicholas recovers fast. Now, we have seen games before where players disconnect early. Fortunately, Nicholas is back before any massive damage done. I mean, okay, admittedly, the 5 mon is a
That five
pretty,
mon
yeah, pretty massive damage.
that 5 mon was just a massive
And when
damage.
you see that, you know what your solution is? Just go Chinitsu, Honitsu. You won with that in the
Yeah,
last hand, and you've got all these pin tiles and honor tiles. You might as well just say,
yeah,
this was intentional.
Boom.
That's
yeah.
exactly what Nicholas is going to do.
Straight up gonna call for it. That's understandable.
And so we'll see if that sort of mishap turns into a blessing for Nicholas. We already saw that happen last game for Kevin. Kevin, with a disconnect, ended up being rewarded for doing so. And I wonder if Kevin will go for Honitsu. Does have good floaters in the other shapes, but there are a lot of So tiles. That's a great pickup as well. Not forcing it, discarding these honor tiles. Perhaps recognizing that Nicholas's dealer might be holding those honors as well. But there's another So draw, so we'll see. I think now Kevin will start to seriously consider the possibility of building a So Honitsu here.
Yeah, Chun is completely live, so
Yeah, it's not even one of the floaters that our dealer has. But there are good hands around the table as well. On the left, Jeff is already Ishan 10 for a Tanyao hand. No Dora, but that's still a
yeah,
Richie Tanyao. Sumo can give you 4,000 points pretty easily. Across
could
the
very
way
easily accept Cora though.
is
So
Steven Yanshan 10. It looks like it.
yeah, Rian
홈,
Shanten, not much value also. Maybe draw the Dora side of things, but gonna be somewhat difficult. And here we already have Tenpai waiting for our player on the left, Jeff, waiting on 8 mon 2 pin.
Shampoo
So
wait.
we're just
It's live. It's pretty live, right?
yeah, just three left in the wall, I believe. Yeah.
Which is pretty good for a Shampoo.
Whoa,
1、
whoa!
Nick.
Everyone,
相撲、
oh,
Failed out. Oh my goodness, that was 4 Dora drawn
I
by
know.
Nicholas. Things were gonna get crazy. You have to assume, with the calls, with the discards, that Nicholas was going for a Honitsu in the Dora suit. That he has 1, maybe 2, if he's really lucky, 3, but all 4 just shutting down any
Yeah.
Dora usage by any of the players. But in the end, it was Jeff shutting down that monster hand with the Tanyao Nomi. They do say Tanyao ends it all, and it did so in that
Yeah.
hand.
It's just 1100, but that very easily could have been a Hanuman Sumo from dealer, and you did not want that.
Yeah, if you imagine the world where dealer summons Hanuman, you as a player, as Jeff, you would be losing 6,000 points.
Actually,
And instead you gained 1,100. So you can think of it as a 7,100 point swing just by winning that hand, even though it doesn't look like that on the scoreboard.
yeah. Actually, I think that was Baimon. Chinitsu Doro 4.
Yeah, if it ended
If
up
it
being
go-
Chinitsu, for sure.
But I think like that was probably just gonna be like some sort of Tanya type hand by the end, so maybe not even Hanuman.
Yeah,
But
I do suspect it was going to end up being Chinitsu actually because like none of those honors had paired up
yeah.
and was just in the process of cutting them all. So yeah, it was kind of likely that would come out.
But
But
that was last hand. Let's talk about this hand. It's
right.
already Ishan 10 for Chi-Toy for Kevin.
At Doors the 8-mon, we don't see any being held. Actually, one was cut already from
Yeah.
Steven. But that was for a very good Ishanten. Steven, the ability to call the Richi with 1 good draw. And that,
1、
well, okay, I'm not going to call that a good draw, but that was a Tenpai draw. It'll be Richi,
Tenpai's Tenpai.
yeah, Richi Nomi, waiting on 1 So, 5 So, and 1 So could come out here. It's not a tile that's very easily usable by other players. We also see a Tenpai across the way, that's Jeff, with Chitoi Tenpai and 5 pin, but then drew the 5, yeah, or did the 3 pin and decided none of those tiles were
Oh.
pushable.
Unfortunate. Deals into the Shabo, but Richi Nomi. You can't be too happy about that after drawing like 4 Dora for Chinitsu, but it is cheap. You'll just deal with it.
Yeah. And so that results, even though missing the Ura, you have advanced the dealership to your own, looking from Steven's perspective, and the high pie is okay. You have this 2 So, which can allow you to incorporate a Dora 3 So into your hand, but all of these lone dragons are posing some question marks, and to answer those questions, Steven seems to be leaning towards Honitsu, saying, I'm going to hold all these dragon tiles, assuming I'll pair one up, and hoping that this turns into Honitsu. Now that you've paired up the 2-mon, might step away from that plan.
Yeah. Does cut the once cut Haku first.
1、
Gonna see what happens, but here we have just a bunch of random assortment of honor tiles. waiting to be paired up,
Yeah.
called even for the
Ke-
North.
Kevin has discarded all the tiles from the other suits except for the Pinzu. It has called twice in the Pinzu. It has 0 pin tiles remaining.
So while everyone probably going to be hesitant on dropping Pinzu tiles, Kevin doesn't actually have any.
Yeah, cannot call anything in the Pinzu. Has a tough decision to make because this is a Dora accepting shape. And you can still have a Yaku if you call the Pei, the Seat Wind, the North Wind.
Yeah.
But you're Fruity 10 there. And when you drop an honor, you miss out on some Honitsu draws. You miss out on the ability to pair up that honor. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy decision. And this is getting
Ooh,
punished a little bit.
Yeah. Usually people's like gives you advice. They say don't get too greedy. I think this isn't
Gee.
greedy enough.
Mm.
But going back to Ishan 10, possible Haruka Tonki.
Yeah, now this doesn't look... I mean, it can't be Honitsu anymore. So the question is it just a Tanya? Why did you discard all those great Tanya tiles then? And the answer is it's not. It's Pei.
It's Pei.
But
Pei no me.
we haven't seen it yet. In the meantime, Steven with an interesting move grabs the Chun, grabs the 1 pin. We'll go for Toy Toy.
Toy Toy Chun.
That's pretty expensive.
Each.
Yeah,
Especially as dealer.
I believe this is 58, 77 on Sumo. Or 78 on Sumo, because...
We'll count the Fu in a second. But we have a Ricci from Nicholas across the table. Ricci Pinfu, Dora 1. Very strong on the 5-8 pin. The 8 pin has been pulled on the left, and Kevin senses the danger. Now, Kevin can find Tanya Tenpai, but will not be able to win with this 8 pin in hand. So we'll just be hoping to be able to make it to Ryukyoku. Finally, the Pei comes out after it's been paired up. Or after the pair has been cut, rather.
Yeah.
This is a tough defensive task for Kevin.
Yeah, so few tiles remaining. Finds the 5...
Khan?
Khan
to
can't
dodge the
on
deal
that.
with... Has flip 3 Dora!
Oh no!
Chun, Toy Dora 3, it's a Mangun.
That's Toy Dora
Oh,
3.
it's
That's
a Hanuman! I can
Hanuman.
count! Can you find a 7 or a 2? There's one of each left. We don't need to count Fu if it's a limit hand like a Hanuman. Oh, cannot! It has to push Dora. Does it anyway.
Does not find it. Unfortunate, but perfectly acceptable.
They were just two in the dead ball.
I was about to say you could probably switch to 5-8. Then I realized once they pawned away with the last one in the hand, and then you con the other side yourself.
Not the best weight, and not the best value either. But in the end, did manage to find Tenpai. Also, Jeff managed to get Tenpai as well without dealing in. So that meant that our dealer, the player to the right, and the player across the table all picked up 3,000 points, courtesy... 1,000 points each, courtesy of Kevin, who did have to bail after the Ricci. And with the Ricci stick in the Homba, it looks like Nicholas is speeding up the hand across the way with 2 calls already.
Yeah, still looking for a pair, but this is like such a great 2-Shan-10.
Our dealer's hand is a bit awkward, but you could try to build towards a 1-2-3 Sanchoku. And the 1-2-3 in all suits.
But with those 2 mons being pawned, it'll be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, after the pawn comes out, you're really not expecting that play to be viable.
Ooh, I think...
Oh, you think of the 9-so for the Dora acceptance?
Dora acceptance, and you did lose quite a bit of Ukiele for not keeping the... This is a Chankon play, isn't it?
That seems to be what Steven's going for. This is very aggressive, but relying on the last 2 mon.
Chi.
We'll see a Chi for Tenpai across the way, and the 6 mon can be held by Kevin.
Yeah, go for the knockup manipulation. Oh, it does not take it. It deals in with it, fortunately.
Yeah,
But just Tonomi, that's perfectly acceptable. While it does put your direct competition over 30k, that's
it was
you
a
take that. It could
Sakigiri,
have been
right?
so much.
You're
Yeah,
saying I want to hold
Come.
this 8 so just in case I draw a door, I can make use of it. And the
and
Nakabukure shape
we
is a little
already
bit difficult to
started
use.
with a con.
And
Sorry about that.
oh yeah, no worries, Nicholas. We've seen a couple of these Daimon cons. Uh, some of them have been uh, a little bit painful, resulting in other players being able to increase the value of their hands. We'll see if this one pans out. It reveals the 8 pin to be door, which I guess that 8 pin could be incorporated into this hand somehow.
But
For
this
the
looks
time
like
being, it's already Ishantan.
yeah, there's possible Chanta. Just climb down the Mazu shape and find the one so.
In fact, you could even chi the 1-mon here, because you are Ishanten, and drop the 9 so. The game will not allow you to discard the 4-mon after chiing the 1-mon.
Yeah.
Swap calling, not allowed.
What do you think about that 2-4 pin cut though? Cutting away from the original Dora.
I do like holding Dora.
Yeah, especially because you can climb up to 2-3-4 Sanshoku.
Speaking of 2-3-4 Sanchoku, I wonder if... nope. Jeff says no. And it makes sense. The 4-4-5 is stronger than the Kanchan 2-4 shape.
Yeah.
If you're being very greedy, you can drop the 4-mon. The 4 so. And just hold 2-4-5, saying, if I draw the 3, then I'll drop the 5. But if I get the 6, I'll drop
Chi.
the 4. Drop the 2.
And then that's already 10 pi. Winning on 9 pin and Hatsu.
Uh-oh.
And that deals in for just Haku no Mi, but that is 1600 because of all the extra Fu.
Yeah,
Remember guys,
there was a
this is
con of the Haku for
yeah.
16 and a puln of the 9 pin. And that was the deal in tile, right? The 9 pin for 4
Or an
fu.
additional 4. And
And
that makes 20.
what was the other
That
shape?
makes 30. Hatsu
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 pair for 2 fu.
pair.
Dragon pair. So yeah, that will upgrade 22 plus the 20 original fu is 42, round up to the nearest 10, 50, 1 in 50, 1600 points.
Wow. Valuable lessons in counting food today.
Well, we've seen lots of open cons, which makes the fu calculations a little bit difficult. We saw one earlier that got upgraded to 40 fu because of a Tuso con, and well, Nicholas has the opportunity to con Tuso again. I don't think it's leaving Steven's hand, but if it ever does, we might see it.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what will happen uh with how hands can develop, you know?
As it is, this is a very promising high pie for Nicholas to away from Tenpai here with very good shapes to make a Ricci Pinfu
Each.
with either Dora or Ipeiko. However, it's Steven who's going to get there first, takes the Ricci on the 5 pin for Ricci Sanchoku. And of course, you might look at the 2 pin cut and say, wait a second, you're not going to be able to draw the door this way. But because you get 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku, this is actually more valuable. And also, people are really hesitant to discard a Dora, but they might be
Yeah.
more inclined to drop a 5 pin than a Dora.
Oh. That being said, all these 5 pins are
They're
currently
being
being held up right
held.
now. Yeah, only real 5 pin that's currently loose in hand is Jeff's.
There is a route to Jeff dropping that 5 pin. It involves the 8 pin coming out first, creating a Nakasuji trap. And then Jeff completing the, say, 7, 8, 9 shape and dropping the 5 pin for Tenpai.
Each.
Oh, we're going to see a chase. Kevin Drew filled the Kanchan,
Long.
Ooh.
but Nicholas can cheat into Tenpai, will snatch the win away and grab the Ricci stick while he's at it. For Tanyao Nomi, 1,500 points.
But with the 2 extra Ricci sticks, that makes it 35, almost doubling the value.
Over doubling the value.
But yeah.
And for Nicholas, this game has been going pretty well. Now you're starting out with 2 Dora in hand, and it's a little bit difficult to open your hand because Shaw is not the round wind, it's not the seat wind. Is the only option for Nicholas going to be a closed hand here, or
Area.
Ricci?
Yeah, gonna have to pair up these Yakuhai if he wants to call, but honestly, you have some pretty good floaters to work with, so you don't even need to really call.
Yeah, oftentimes when you have a Dora heavy hand, you just want to start calling and getting yourself to the victory as soon as possible. In this case, I think, as you said, Nicholas is recognizing that the ability to call comes from pairing up a dragon. So that's why we see the ones and nines
Home.
leaving the hand before the dragons. However, as the dragons start to filter out, now they're leaving Nicholas's hands too.
Yeah. And look
Home.
at all these great fills from Nicholas. Like, while yeah, you don't really want to see the four
1.
just yet. Like, you're still two Shanten,
And
or
well, we
sorry,
see
three Shanten.
Tempai on the right from Jeff, and that's going to
Boom.
actually get the immediate healing. Ricci, Tanya, Pinfu, and Ura. So that combined with the Ipatsu is going to make this a Mongon.
Mangan.
8,000 points plus Homba. And look at the Ricci stick back, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty
But
significant.
More importantly, does put him in first now.
Exactly. Big movement for
Kevin's
Jeff.
rulership.
Now for Kevin. You have
Unfortunately, I feel like these past 3 games, he hasn't really been able to make any like good hands come to fruition. Like, we've seen some pretty expensive tenpais, but they just never won, right?
right. And we've
Home.
seen, a lot of aggression at this table. People aren't
Yeah.
content to just let one player control the action at the table with the Ricci. They're going to fight against it. And well, Jeff is trying to control the action in this hand by calling an early pawn of the south. And is Ishan 10 just needs a 3 mon and an 8 mon to win the hand.
Yeah, I think it's currently in Kevin's best interest to like just play this hand relatively normally. Play to the middle of the table. If everyone wants like cheap fast hands, then you need to also compete with a cheap fast hand rather than going for these monster but slow Hanumans.
Well, we have 2 Dora now on the right for Steven. This is interesting.
Ooh, yeah, I believe that's 3 pairs. So not really Cheetoy just yet, but could very easily call for like some sort of, Tanya Dora 2.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the plan. And Steven has shown in some of these other hands that he is willing to move towards Tanyao. So
2.
probably the goal right now. Nicholas opening up for a Tanyao. This one is a little bit more difficult to put together, I think, because you have this awkward 2-3 so shape where the 1 so is not going to be a good Tanyao draw. And that overlaps with the 5-6 shape as well on the 4 so.
Ooh, interesting decision point here for Kevin.
Drop a pair or drop the 2-4 so. Oh, actually just goes with the 8 pin. Thinking Cheetoy. Maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's like just trying to parse his hand, trying to make this Tanya type hand, as I said earlier. Probably just gonna have to start looking into more cheaper but fast callable hands
I
to really play
see.
the meta.
The shape was 4 7-pin, which is pretty good to
Yeah,
Home.
Just in a vacuum. But actually, Kevin could see 3 of the 4 pins discarded or in calls. So was waiting on one of the last 2 7-pins only and decided that that shape was actually not as good as it normally is and just broke away from it. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Now trying to Sakigiri this 3 mon, but that will get cheated by Steven, who is now Ishanten for the Tanyao hand with 2 Dora. Unfortunately, Jeff, despite having that early call, has not been able to make any progress whatsoever.
Yeah, Jeff really just struggling to like find find a pair and fill in that 2-4 shape.
Well, the critical issue here is that the 2-4 shape needs the 3 mon, but They're all held.
They're,
They're all
they're all
locked.
held, or they're the door indicator.
Right. So unless Jeff decides to switch away from this shape, we'll actually never win this hand.
7
Yeah, and there's the chief for Tenpai, winning on 3 so.
ポン
Also dead, actually.
Ooh,
but-
Tenpai on the right, though. On the
Ooh.
2-5 mon. And Nicholas...
Boom.
Paimon does deal... Or...
3-so instead, yeah. Was probably going to deal into this hand. It was just dependent on which player. And
Yeah.
Dealing to the dealer is a little bit more expensive. Well, actually, it was cheaper in this case. But also allows another round. And that means you can win your points back on the next round. Interestingly enough.
This hand probably looking
Boom.
for like some sort of Pinfu type. Ooh, immediately calls for the Chanta.
Yeah, Kevin trying to be more assertive on this dealership, going aggressively for Chanta. And there's going to be no value outside of Chanta most likely because the door is the 5 mon. You can't use 5 mon in a Chanta hand.
1
On the right, we got a call or on the left, sorry, we got a call for an Atazuke Chun.
Oh,
Which
there's Chun draw.
there's one. Yeah.
We'll see
Could
how
come
long
up
it stays in
with it.
hand.
Ooh. That doesn't help the hand too much.
Yeah, but Steven
Unless
does
you're-
have 2 Doras, so a lot of incentive to just say, I've got Hatsu Anko in hand. I'm just going to call
Gee.
this to completion. There are some points
Yeah.
considerations. Oh,
Ooh.
this is a big one.
Yeah.
So remember,
Does not
Kevin's hand
dodge.
cannot use this 5 mon. But he's a little worried that Nicholas can use it, or that someone will be able to call it. And if he drops the 5 mon, it can be pawned on the right by Steven for a Mongon. And that would
Yeah.
be a huge swing of points. That would put Kevin in 4th if Steven managed to win that hand. So there's a lot of tension right now on this 5 mon cut. When will it be discarded? And it's now.
ポン
Now, pawn.
There's the pawn.
Yeah. Even if you don't see like the 3 Hopsus, you still must assume this is Mongon because of the Dora,
Right.
unfortunately.
And normally the 8 pin is the cut there because it can't be used in the hand. But Kevin is concerned that that will allow Steven's hand to progress. Does get rid of it now, and no chi taken. Interesting.
Boom.
And the shoe comes out, so now a Tonki
There's-
wait.
Hadaka Tonki on 2 so, but very easy to change.
Right, and
We do see all of them being held right now.
9 mon looks very good. Oh, but not
Does
taken.
not take it.
Interesting.
Probably sees it. It is once cut, so probably just looking at that. But and obviously he cannot see all the 2 sos in other players' hands.
Right.
Ooh, that would have dealt in.
Yeah.
Con.
Con. I'm sure we'll see it. And now is the 3 so better? No. Likes the 2 so. Incidentally, the 8 mod has been revealed to be Dora, but there's only one in
Ooh.
Jeff's hand across the way. It does switch to the 9 pin, and that's gonna stop Kevin from being able to win for the
Oh,
moment.
this is Tenpai.
Tenpai chooses the
Tenpai
Shampoo
first.
weight, believing in the South over the 9 pin.
1
And we'll see if the South comes out right now.
That could deal in, yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Ooh,
Oh,
it's being
the
very
9.
Oh no.
That's gonna deal
Boom.
in.
Oh, unfortunate. Takes the wrong way and deals in for it.
A tragedy for Kevin. However, that wasn't the most punishing deal in. So still in 3rd place, not out of things by any stretch of the imagination. We'll move over to Steven's dealership.
Yeah, and it's like a Mongon direct hit on any of like the 2 players in 1st or 2nd will just swap places.
Right.
So definitely not out of these 2 players are definitely not out of woods from Kevin's range just yet. but Steven, also with another dealership, definitely gonna need to really want to pass this dealership around to make sure you're you're a little bit safer, right?
Yeah, Steven, our current dealer, has drawn into Tenpai on the Tuesday. I was
And
going to say
pie,
this is technically
Each.
Ishanten, and this is Richi Ipeiko on the Tuso. There are two being held, so one left in the wall.
yeah. I can't imagine they come out of these players' hands anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if oh, they're all held now. So
They're
if
all held.
if Steven's gonna win this, it's gonna be by Ron. And I'm trying to see if anyone can fight for this hand. On the left, Kevin Ishanten. It's a pretty difficult task to defend here. There's not been much indication of the tiles that are safe. 5-pin came out from Toyman, so that's why Kevin is dropping the Suji 2-pin.
One pin, gotta go for it. Unfortunately, if you upgrade that 2-4 shape,
Each.
Step by, gonna just hit the button, wait for 3
yeah,
so.
praise Sanso, but we can see 2 in the Ipeiko hand and then 1 on Toyman's hand.
Well, interestingly
So
enough for Kevin, by taking this Ricci guarantees that he will not deal in.
yeah,
So he can't lose, he can only win. And there is 1 3 still left in the wall.
so 1 versus 0.
Oh, it feels so painful to drop the door, but of course that came out already from
Chi.
Toyman, who is going for a Honitsu, and Sozu is actually Ishanten for that.
Home.
Yeah.
Nope, still Ishanten. Needs a
Oh,
pair now.
Ishanten. Yeah, you pair up the wrong thing there. Like, that deals in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you pair up the Tuso, but then I remembered all the Tuso are
You
being
pair
held.
you pair up,
Kang.
so you can really only pair up the 3, so the con.
Okay, this is
That
another
grants
con.
that grants Kevin 3 Dora, but does not find the win.
Uh, one more tile left in the wall that did not get revealed to us because of the con. The con removes a tile from the drawing wall and puts it in the dead wall.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Damn.
that was the 3, so.
Let's see. Let's take a quick peek at this hand. Some pretty decent shapes and floaters. Or you already filled 2 of your shapes. You've just found a Ryamen. You have a 3 and 6 so floater. And you do have a Kanchan, but since I'm
Home.
watching, we fill those.
Speaking of fills, we see a poem.
Pawn, yeah.
Kevin grabbing the Haku, just aiming for these Ricci sticks. Even with a cheap hand, if you add 2,300, the current total in the middle of the table right now, to the score, it could potentially get him over 30,000. Unfortunately, this looks like it's just a 1,000 point hand, barring it somehow miraculously turning into Toy Toy.
I'm not really sure if I could see that happening, but you never know.
Some
It's
really
gonna be really difficult.
exciting developments across the
Yeah.
way. Another Chinitsu
Ooh,
being built by
Chinitsu,
Nicholas with 2 Dora.
Dora 2.
And if Nicholas can
Yeah,
pull off another comeback with a Chinitsu hand, that would be
it,
insane.
it's entirely possible that somehow becomes Itsu. I'm not really sure how, given those shapes. Maybe another 2-mon and another 1-mon, but still entirely possible,
Yeah,
technically.
there is absolutely a world where you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Itsu. And somehow he's actually managed to do this all closed. Jeff has not been providing any useful tiles.
And we already have 10 Pi Dama 10 for dealer, waiting on 6-mon. Ooh, and that's 10 Pi for Kevin,
Each.
waiting on 2 or 3-6, excuse me. Yeah.
Steven had the chance to switch to a Tonka. He didn't like it. Just stuck with the 6-mon here.
So I believe that is 2 versus 5.
I'll take your word for it. Yes, that does look correct. And what the oh no!
Ooh,
Jeff had
Nakasuji
disconnected.
kills it. Oh, was that?
Jeff was going to be
That.
Tenpai after drawing that 6-0, but for Ricci Pinfu Tanyao. But the disconnect caused that to deal in. And
Oh no!
now
That's
the
so
dealership has to somehow survive without being able to play defense at all.
Oh, I think he's back.
No, when we
No,
switched
yeah.
perspective, the coloring went away.
Oh,
Still DC'd. We're going to watch closely to see when he comes back, if he comes back. But currently, the dealer is disconnected, and we have, of course, Nicholas on the right, who's building for a comeback here. Needs a 3-on hand, 3-on-30 hand to make that comeback happen.
Tanya, Dora, Ricci.
Yeah, Rishi Tanya Dora would do it. Jeff has come
But
back. We
what?
saw a 5-pin, 6-pin cut.
Okay. So
Folding, basically folding, saying, I've
yeah,
disconnected, I'm too far behind, I need to gather my bearings, I'm just going to fold and hope that a
perfectly
comeback doesn't
reasonable.
happen.
Perfectly reasonable.
Kang.
Khan flipping the
Ooh.
Shah. Toy
Unfortunately-
could be an option here.
Oh yeah, Toy.
It's going to be hard to use the door with Toy, but if you pair it up, it's totally viable.
Yeah.
Pawn?
Does
Home.
Pawn?
Pawn drop Dora, okay. So this is going to be kind of interesting because Toy by itself doesn't do enough to surpass Jeff here.
Yeah.
But on
Unless-
sumo or direct hit, it could get close depending on the Fu count. And there's going to be some wacky Fu in this hand.
I believe this is actually already 40 regardless.
Yes, it is.
'Cause-
And we have 10 showing on the board with the con and the 2 from the pawn.
Yeah.
Or the 8 from the con, the 2 from the pawn. So we'll see how many of these can get drawn. There's the chance if you sumo the final 2 shapes like on a 9 so
Boom.
ratio pawn, so that's 14 now. Tenpai on 2
14,
pin,
10, 5.
2 mon, 8 mon.
Yeah.
So this will be 2 and 40 for 2600
Uh,
on a roan or 27 on a sumo.
cannot sumo. All winning tiles are currently being held.
And that means it can only be a roan. So all Jeff has to do is dodge the deal in and he'll be
Yeah.
fine. And Jeff has been preparing for this moment from the high pie. The 9 that deals into
This-
Toyman. Oh,
Gee.
no Ricci.
Does not. Yeah, does not deal
Each.
in because there's no Yaku.
Long.
Oh.
Instead, Steven will fight for the hand. Had to fight for it because of the positioning, and will deal into 2600. That is not going to change too much here. We'll give a couple extra points to Nicholas. It will be Jeff with the first place, though, plus 21.0. Not too much pain from having disconnected for a little bit. Nicholas with a good second place, plus 10.4. Kevin in third place. That's a positive third place, though, plus 0.5. And this time it will be Steven being the only player below 3,000 with a negative 31.9. A lot of exciting hands in this game, too. And I know they will be playing one more. Oh, and they've already started. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get to the game in time before the first discard.
Yeah, very intense games for this entire session at this table.
Yeah, these have been pretty wild. Boot, load this up. And yeah, we couldn't even get to the first 2 discards from dealer. It's Steven, our first dealer. Kevin to the right. Jeff across the table.
Across the-
Nicholas on our left.
Home.
Alright. So, interesting shapes here. Rionman and a floater and everything else is basically completed. But for Ricci, Pinfu most likely Dora too.
Yeah, that 7-pin's a pretty nice pickup.
Yeah, Peiko.
A lot of chances for some really serious value for dealer.
Yeah,
To the right, Kevin aiming for just a Ricci Pinfu, it looks like. Across, with a door, of course. And
yeah.
that's can easily lead to Mungon as well. Across the way, Jeff is working with some awkward shapes. It's going to be difficult to get any value out of his hand. You could get a Ricci Pinfu if you're lucky, but most likely going to be Ricci Nomi. On the left, Nicholas going for Toy Toy. And this is just going to be Toy Toy only. Big
Yeah,
question,
that's definitely what it seems like.
can Steven put a hand together? This is Ishanten now.
Kevin's actually Ishanten already for Richidora.
Ah, so not finding Pinfu after drawing an Anko of the 9 so. The Richidora is still very good.
There was a very real possibility of Churen actually, given all those one
Oh, there they
so's.
are. If you replace 3 random tiles from that hand with one so, you've got the hard part of the Churen down.
Yeah, you just need to find like the Itsu part.
I
And
guess
then you really, huh?
Kevin even had the 5 so in hand. It got pwned by
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Each.
Oh,
Oh,
there's a
and that's
Ricci.
Tenpai. We take those.
Now, of course, we already saw a Tenpai from Steven, discarding one of the Dora so that the Tenpai could be found on the 7-1. There is one 7-1 left in the wall. And for this Ricci from Kevin, Ricci Dora 1, there is a 6-9 Mon weight that has 4 tiles. But the 7 is found!
Oh,
1 beats 7
7.
apparently. Or sorry, 1 beats
Oh.
4. And Tanya Dora will win out, plus the Ricci stick. So it's a cool 3,900 points for Steven. Moving into repeat 1.
For this hi-fi, it looks kind of okay. Could hedge towards Chanta. Could find what do you call it? Excuse me. Could find Sanshoku on the 1-2-3 on top of the Chanta.
Yeah, if you have
Definitely already
work your way
have
down there, but it is possible.
Yeah.
And of course, the Hakupon allows you to really do whatever you want. It's just a question of can you add any additional value here?
Yeah.
To the right, Kevin has 4 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pairs. That is Ishunted for Chitoy. Dora to
Chitoy.
Tanyao.
Yeah, already found like the hardest part of a Chitoy hand. This might turn into Toy Toy.
Yeah, with the Anko draw, Toy Toy is a little bit harder when you have Tanyao tiles, these central tiles, because other players like to hold those for their own usage. It's harder to call Pon or the Toy Toy. Toyman has drawn a Dora and has reasonably strong shapes for a Ricci and Fedora. And on the left, Nicholas is also Chitoy Ishanten with an Anko. So both Kevin and Nicholas have similar hands. They'll both call, open up their hands to be Ishanten. It feels like Kevin has a slight advantage from the tiles that we can see are being held, and it will be Kevin finding Tempai first on the 5 Mon 5 So.
3 left in the wall. Dealer can't really use 5 so I can easily imagine it might come out.
Yeah, although that is
depending
the
on
Dora.
depending on how easy it is for him. Or how dangerous he feels like it is.
Right. Oh, just Sumo.
Oh, just Sumo.
This
just
is going to be huge. Toy Toy Tanya Dora 3 for Hanuman. And this is the hand that Kevin's been looking for all series long. Finally gets the Sumo, pulls into first place with 38,400, and we move to Kevin's dealership.
Let's see here. Okay, hand could possibly find some sort of like 79 Sanshoku maybe, but definitely need to figure out that penchant. And the floaters aren't too great. I guess that's too so it's a Dora acceptance. On the right looks like we have just a pretty standard hand, already Ishanten, looking for a pair. for a pair and filling in the Ryanman. Across the way, we have a Ton pawned out with Dora 3
Wow.
uh, headless right now, but that is another scary hand to be looking out for this round.
Yeah, we found where the value is.
We just need to find the head. Or, fill those first, either or.
Either or.
And on the left, we
Chi.
have,
Oh,
I presume, like, some sort of,
yeah, probably Tanyao, but
yeah, probably just Tanyao.
Toyman has called Chi on the awkward shape, filling that awkward shape and grabbing a head on the 9, so a Tonki weight. It is not a great weight because one has been discarded, one is the Dora indicator. If Kevin switches to the 9-8 penchant shape, would deal
Ooh,
it.
finds the switch to the 1 mon.
Yeah, that's better. And
Ooh,
this is
Eat.
Senpai.
Yeah.
Chooses the
Take the
Dora
one
Tonki. Oh
Dora.
no.
Unfortunately, this hand cannot be won because I highly doubt you discard those Dora.
No, that's the reason that you're fighting for this hand. Yeah, this is really unfortunate for Jeff, and it's just a matter of where are the last 2 1-mons. And will Nicholas ever switch this weight as well is a critical part of this. Chitoi Ishanten on the left. But that's also Ishanten for a normal hand as well, so Steven can use the 1 mon if it's drawn. Chun twice cut. No, 3 times cut. Not a good weight. Kevin keeps drawing these useful looking tiles, but really is just folding here. 1 pin, 4 pin is a good weight, and it just came out. But still likes the 1 mon here. 4 pin is safe to the Ricci, and of course, Nicholas doesn't know that it's just a 1 so Ricci. It could be any number of things, and so trying to pick a good weight while also playing somewhat defensively here.
That unfortunately that would be
Con.
Fu-riday. Con.
Con reveals
6-1 as a Condor indicator.
Yeah,
Or
that's nothing.
6-1 as the Condor.
Probably not going to affect anything in this situation.
Ooh.
Oh no, 1 mon held by the person who would defend. Because 1 mon doesn't look safe to the Ricci. Still 1 left on the wall. Can Jeff pass it? It can. Will it be at Sumo? No! Ryukyoku found.
Ooh.
And
Very
Jeff,
scary.
as that hand ends, the hands that are Tempai get flipped up, and Jeff sees all of his winning tiles being held, and just has a quick moment to reflect on the fact that he managed to not deal into a Mongon there. Feeling very relieved, I'm sure.
Yeah, like you look at it from the outside, you probably think like, oh, it's just Ton maybe Dora 1. No,
Right.
it's Ton Dora 3.
And because dealer did not manage to find Tempai, that will shift the dealership to Jeff. This high pie is... It's not amazing.
I see a path to value with Sanshoku, but that's about it. It's quite distant, to be honest, but...
Yeah, you're looking at 5, 6, 7. It is something to consider. I mean, you also look at your 3 pairs and say, oh, it could be Chitoi. It's not really something you want to force. And we'll just play efficiently and see what happens. Well, that 6-0 makes your Sanchoku a lot more realistic.
We fill those.
We really do.
With me.
And Nicholas has called Poland in the East, looking to chip away at this deficit below Kevin. No Dora this time, but aim to just end the dealership here. Across the way, we have 2 away from Tempai. Dion Shanten. That's Steven, who could draw into Sananko.
Yeah.
I think it's still live. I'm trying to find a way to add some value to that hand. Of course, there's a Dora Haku. But unless
6-0 is not live. 6-0 is not live.
So Sanako not likely here. And actually, the Haku comes out and gets pulled by Kevin, who already has a lead, looking to add to it with Haku Dora 3 for Mangan.
This is Ishanten.
Oh, that's a
Or,
5-7-7, so Dianshanten. But at 8 so draw now makes it Ishanten. We do see Toyman taking the Ricci on the 9-mon pay.
Sumo.
Gets the
Oh,
Ippat
Ippat Sumo!
Ooh, what a nasty way that is. Ippat's, you might expect an Ippatsu Roan, but instead finds the Sumo. That's a pretty big win there. Shuts down the dealer, or rather the Hakupon on our left. And that puts Steven pretty close to taking first place here. It is Nicholas, our dealer now, though. Promising?
Let's see. It's an okay hand.
There's a path to Itsu in the Manzu.
Yeah.
After that 3-pin draw, though, it's more likely to be a standard hand, so I'm just going to probably play it efficiently. Drop these honors and see what comes into hand.
Yeah. Definitely don't need to commit one way or another yet.
It even starts to
commit
call
to
here.
Tanyao.
Yeah, just going for a fast Tanyao. And you could still incorporate the Dora 5 so if you happen to draw around this the middle Sozu tiles, yeah. The interesting call was on the right. We saw the 1-mon Pon. And
yeah, Atazuke on the Ton.
yeah, planning to call Pon as soon as the East Wind comes out. We'll have to wait for that. Dealer has actually found Ishanten now, so a very wide Ishanten at that. Can call any number tiles or draw them, in fact, to be Tempa. There's the East, though. Will get pwned.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, do we drop Dora? I like... this probably ends in Dora Tonki, actually.
Yeah. Actually does... Upside is that you manage to dodge having to find an 8-pin, which we see 3 of across their way.
Yeah, that was going to be an unlikely fill there. Toyman is Ishanten.
Oh!
Oh my... Well, I guess the 8-pin was easier to fill than we thought. I mean, we just fill those, right? I remember the mantra.
We fill those. We fill those, yeah.
Oh, that's a pair, so that's not going to deal in. Dealer Tempai with a shampoo and 2-mon 7-pin weight that has none left in the wall. They're all being held. And these shapes, I don't think he'll ever get the win. Needs to switch it up somehow, but instead it's like Sumo. Steven will take the win here and snatch away the Ricci stick from Jeff, who just found Tempai. There's been a lot of action, just like a flurry of calls and good draws and Tempai's found. It's been like that all game long.
Yeah.
It's going to be Steven. Dealer now in South 1. A moment to sort of reset, take scope of the standings. Currently, Steven in the lead by 200 points over Kevin on the right, and just trying to maintain it, trying to increase it. That dealership is a good chance to do so as you win. You get like a 1.5 times multiplier on all your wins. The value of all your wins, that is. This high pie doesn't look amazing in terms of value, but it is Dianchan 10, 2 away from Tempai.
Yeah. Seems like everyone's just figuring out, like, what to cut still.
Yeah, none of these hands have a really clear path. To the right, there's a lot of pairs, and there's a bad Kanchan shapes. Across the way, Jeff has this Hakudora, which is scary to cut. Kevin dropped one already, so Jeff might be just hoping to pair that up. It does have 3 pairs, and the ability to call the south for a value. Now 4 pairs.
Dealer got punished for not keeping the 1-pin to accept the 2-pin.
Oh, and then drew the 2-pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if Steven aims to turn this into a Tanyao eventually. Clear out all these terminal tiles and keep the central ones. That's the goal. Even a chi there is possible. On the 6-pin.
Yeah, chi 6, cut 3.
Or even just start with the 1-mon, and maybe you draw a 4-pin. Or get to call it.
Yeah,
The hand on
not
the
really.
left has come together, though.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that's
It's Ish on 10, although now you can switch which side you're waiting for. Now there's even Ipeko chance in addition to the
yeah.
Pinfu.
Uh,
Kevin had just decided to drop away from the north pair and go for Tanyao, and then drew another north. That's just the way Mahjong goes sometimes.
Pom.
Pull. All right, so
Pull.
it's not going to be a Chitoy play.
Pom.
Jeff trying to go a little bit more proactively. Makes a call. Still can call this the south as well. We haven't seen that come out yet.
Ich.
Ricci. Ricci Pinfu.
Nice fill.
Ich.
Yeah.
Oh. Chase as we reach Pinfu
Chase.
Ipeko. Tanyao. So more value in the hand to the left. Let's check the quality of the weights. 3-6 so for dealer has 1, 2, 3, 4 left. And then the 4-7 for Nicholas has 3 left. 2 left.
1, 2,
1 left.
3.
All the 4s are gone. And
Oh.
there's the 6 so had the better value but not the better weight. And the 4-tile weight will pan out here. Steven picking up 2,900 points plus the Ricci stick, increasing this lead in first place. Ipi's not too bad here. Could be just be another Pinfu. No Dora though. To the right we have a reasonable high pie for Kevin as well. If you can fill a
Yeah.
Kanchan, which we've seen all night, you can get Pinfu out of that as well.
It is a Ryoncon, so not as hard as you might think. So
Right.
but you know, that's just a fancy way of saying a Kanchan essentially.
Yeah, it's a double Kanchan, that 5-7-9 shape. You can fill it with a 6 mon or with the 8 mon.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, now that you've paired up the Dora.
I aside from the Shabo, I find this really difficult to use. Fills in the Kanchan first.
Right?
Once we fill those.
Yeah, we'll probably end up on a Shabo weight, especially because the East Wind is
completely live, yeah. Oh, but it is Mochi Mochi,
is
actually.
Mochi Mochi. And I don't know if Nicholas will defend by cutting the East-East if there's a Ricci.
They might if they see the path towards Tanyao. That being said, Doko's on the table currently.
2 pin, 2 mon, 2 so all being held.
Boom.
Have to cut east. Does
East for Tanyao, but instead chooses to go for the Doko/Toy Toy route.
yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. Always love to see a fun little Doko.
Yeah.
Sanchoku Doko.
Always something to get the commentators popping off for. Guaranteed.
And I'm trying to see if it's possible. There still is a 2 so left at the wall. 2 mon is being held by Jeff currently, but that could leave the hand.
Yeah, there is a realistic possibility that leaves the hand.
Ich.
Unfortunately for Kevin, both his Shampones are currently Mochi Mochi'd. And it's going to be really difficult for him to drop it. So
After
it's just
the-
going to fold out.
Yeah, after the dealer
after
Ricci.
So I think is a very reasonable fold.
It would have been Tenpai here, but it was a tough fight. You had some very difficult tiles to discard against that Ricci.
Yeah.
And Jeff decided to discard the upper side of that mon shape instead of the lower side, so it seems unlikely that this 2 mon will come out. So it's really just a matter of where is this last 2 so. And we found it!
Yep. Ricci, Ipego, Sumo.
2,000
Ura, but
all.
yeah, a very nice pickup from Steven.
Yeah, this is really just about confirming first place. It's over 12,000 points against the closest, above the closest
Yeah,
competition. So pretty secure against a Mangan Sumo. Although there is homebug considerations that still would allow Kevin to overtake, but
yeah. Like
with
Hanuman run on someone else is enough to overtake.
right.
So still got to be careful, definitely. But you also have to consider there's an entire south round technically still.
Right, this is just South One. You want to collect as many points as you can on your dealership before passing it along. And this high pie is pretty good for that to happen. I mean, the ability to make another Ipeco this time in the lower Monzu, or just go for a Tanya, or even get 234 Sanchoku. However, I
Yeah,
have to say, Toyman, Ishanten, with potential Sun Uncle, or Ipeco, where Skinolgus gets the Hatsu here as well. Kind of
yeah,
excited to see how the hand develops.
Home.
Almost don't want to call that, but we'll just take it for Tempai.
yeah. Ooh,
Wrong.
That will induce an immediate deal, and 1,000 points plus the 600 points in Homba will allow Jeff to secure slight advantage in third place. Slightly bigger advantage there.
and well, that was a pretty cheap deal, and this makes Kevin's job actually quite a bit easier. Just Mangon run off of anywhere now puts him at first.
Yeah, being dealer, of course, helps that a little bit. And that's a
Yeah,
good fill. Kevin still needs to fill quite a few more shapes before this chance has a serious chance of winning.
but you know,
Kang.
immediate con. Turn two.
It is Yishanten, though. They say
It is
con from
Ishanten.
Yishanten.
Does grant uh Kevin a new Dora technically, but it's sticking out like a sore thumb. You can't really use that even if you are trying to.
Well, I guess if you do use it, it's probably in a 789 shape, which would be two door at that point.
Yeah,
But you really do have
or
to draw some very precious tiles.
yeah, some. And we see three of the seven so's already in other players' hands, so it would be very difficult.
Yeah, with those. Well, now at this point, I think that shape's
Yeah,
locked.
I think we revert back to the old mantra of we fill those.
There's only one seven so left. Is it possible? Could it happen in this game at this table at this moment?
It is theoretically possible.
Can you like ramp up your abilities for Kevin here?
What
Like,
what do we think about Dora talking?
I mean, I would absolutely take it.
Yeah,
Uh, it's two Dora either way, and the 9 so is the new Dora. It's a little bit harder for players to use than the 7 so. So if I had a choice between the Penchon and the 9 so Dora Tonki, I might just take the Dora Tonki. Even though
yeah.
it's what, 3
It's
tiles
about
versus 4 7 so, you expect the 7 so are being held.
yeah. Regardless, though, this is actually like such a great Ishanten for having a penchant.
Each.
Yeah, right? And we do have a Ricci on the 8 so, so if you do take the Dora Tonki now, you will deal in. Kevin, though,
Yeah,
a lot less inclined to discard a
Each.
tile in the upper Sozu. We'll see a chase. Nicholas across the way. Shampoo, wait,
ooh,
1 pin,
Each.
8
this
pin.
is
That's not a
Tenpai.
good
Let's see
one.
what he takes.
Takes the penchant. Yeah,
Oh,
not willing to drop the 8 so Dora
Home.
indicator.
yeah, and that's also Tenpai for
Toy Toy on the left.
yeah.
Nicholas Wade is dead. We can ignore that one. Khan? Oh, surely
Kang.
not. Surely not.
No
But at
way.
this table, that's
Wrong.
exactly what
Oh, that feels
happens.
it. Oh,
8 so drawn. That'll be Ricci, Dora 3. No Udon.
Dora 3.
Misses it all, but that's going to be a big 8,000 point swing.
Oh,
It's a trade of places.
very unfortunate there for Kevin.
Yeah,
Home.
one of those players in Ricci was going to end up being unfortunate, and at least Kevin had a
Yeah,
chance to win the hand.
yeah. He had the chance to win that hand.
And as dealer, I don't think you can let that chance pass you by. You have to take the Ricci. Just unfortunate to draw the dealing tile, and well, Jeff, now in second place, can even fight for first as dealer.
Ooh, this is great fill-in with the 3 so, but definitely need to figure out the rest of the
Boom.
shapes.
Ishanten. And there's a chance at 234 Sanchoku as well if you can draw around this 4-pin. Ooh, but it's sufficient to
Ooh.
drop it now.
Yeah, I don't mind efficiency sake, but especially when you can just wrench on several times if you get lucky.
Yeah, I actually personally like cutting the 6, so I think, because if I found Tempai here, I would take the Kanchon anyway.
Yeah, I believe that's fair. That's a fair. Oh, now
Mm,
you don't have to take a Kanchan.
right, but it's Foodie 10, so I think he'll just, yeah, throw it back.
Yeah, that is true. Still, I think it's perfectly reasonable to cut Eiso and find the Shabo as your final weight.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Foodie 10, so it is
Oh,
efficient to do
Eat.
that. And
yep.
there's the
Well,
Tempai. And even if you kept the 7 mine, you'd still have Tempai here, so
yeah,
totally acceptable. It is a
Chi.
2/5 mon, Richi Nomi. Potential Dora 1 though, if you could win on the 5 mon.
yeah.
Stephen will call a second time, has Shaw Dora 1. West Wind is the seat wind, so that's where the value, the main Yaku is coming from.
So we see all the 4-mon in players' hands, but we do not see any
Boom.
7-mons for Steven just yet.
Oh,
So
there's
they're all
one
in the wall.
discarded from
Oh yeah, yeah.
dealer,
So 3
but
in the
still
walls. Excuse
3.
me.
Uh-oh.
This is 10 pi. Would are you bold enough to drop?
Dong.
Oh,
Yeah, that was actually Ishanten with the P shape not quite being completed. It was basically choosing your dealer, and the 4-1 was safer against the dealer Ricci, and I think that might have been why it was chosen. It was also the wider shape. However, that did
yeah,
deal into a 2,000 point hand from Steven, who continues to expand on this lead.
yeah. Normally you wouldn't be too concerned about dealing into 2000, but
Boom.
now it's like when you're last place, every little bit counts.
Right. All right, Nicholas in last place. This is all last, so everyone's looking at the score and determining their goals. For Nicholas, it's
Boom.
just keep winning hands. Easy enough. For Steven on the right, it's win one hand and end this game. The value doesn't matter too much, but it looks like there's potentially 3,900 in this hand, or even more, depending on how the Fu ends up shaping up. Across the way, for Kevin, you need 6,000 points to make it to 30K for a
Chi.
positive score. And so you're aiming for, well,
Boom.
basically Mongon.
Yeah,
Kang.
and this is already 10 pi on the note on the Intotsu for dealer.
Wow,
Waiting on
5,
5.
582. Do you? No, I think this is still very good.
Yeah,
With a 4-pin, 4 so pawn. Turns out the switch
Four's-
would have probably won, but this still is quite good to win as
Boom.
well. There's another pawn,
and then
and
it's
we have
Honky
3
weight,
Han,
3 Han, 4. Ooh,
40 minimum, but I think 1622. Yeah, 350.
Dong.
Doesn't matter. But
it
I see the
deals
room
into
for
the
dealer.
Hatsu. Not a lot of points, but it can possibly add up. The important part.
I mean, if you didn't win that hand, Steven was going to. And so
Yeah, definitely.
you've given yourself just another chance to make a comeback here. This high pie has 3 pairs, but you don't really want pairs. You want to draw a Dora and efficiently make your way to a Ricci. That's a good draw.
Well, yeah,
Also good tiles on the right.
yeah. Probably looking at 789 Sanshoku if you want to call, but
Also just Ishanten. So,
yeah, just also like regular Ishanten.
oh, likes this 8-pin. There's an Ipeco chance
Yeah.
in the upper pinzu.
Yeah, it can very easy, a lot easier to Dama with, but does make it a lot harder to call with.
Oh,
Ooh,
this draw's almost awkward.
yeah,
It's
I think Force There's fine.
Ishanten still.
Yeah, just shifting around the Ishanten.
Tempai with Ipeco. So it would be a
Could just
Shabo.
Dama.
Yeah, and I like this. Well,
So
actually, North comes out pretty easily on Arichi too.
yeah, but there's
Oh,
Rion
Eat.
Peiko.
will you go for Dion Peiko? No, it takes this Shabo, which is
Okay.
Even better than the last one.
Yeah, 9-pin, very difficult to use. North, also very difficult to use. So this is such a great Shavo. Me personally, I would have went for Ryan, just Dama Ryan, because I love my 3 Hanyakus. But you know what? I think this is objectively correct.
Right. You very much expect to win this hand. And
On the left, we also have Ishanten, actually. It would just be Tanya Nomi, but
oh, Dora 2.
excuse me. Yeah, Dora 2.
That actually gives some incentive to fight here. Oh, now you can upgrade to Peiko if you just go for it. And will. 5 so not
Ooh.
safe, but Jeff says this is my chance to actually steal first with a Mongon direct hit. Tempai! No, wait, that's not Tempai.
It's not 10.
That's
Yeet.
Suwanko Ishanten.
Oh, wait, you're right.
Nicholas found Tempai on 4-7. Kevin's just folding at this point. It's too scary, but Jeff is absolutely going to fight now.
8 is all taken up for the Suanko. 6-mon, I believe, 1 in hand currently. 2 does not look safe to
one
either
chance.
Ricci.
It's kind of safe to the first Ricci,
Don't.
but
Ooh.
North's finally drawn. We were wondering where they were. Ricci, Peiko, Uratsu. Ricci pays off in spades. Extra 8,000 points. And although the Tsumo would have been preferred, this is certainly an excellent result for Steven. Plus 41.2. That's a monster finish in an Armal match. And for Jeff, a positive score, plus 5.3. You cannot complain. You might be a little sad about losing the Swanko, but at least you didn't fall to the negatives. So still continuing to stay steady at the top of the league. For Kevin, a negative 11.0. And for Nicholas, was really fighting in that last hand and got Tempai, but fortunately drew the Dealin tile and takes a negative 35.54. Still, it was a very exciting and well-fought match.
Yeah. Very exciting games all around.
We'll get the final update for this table. Jeff, after the series finishes, climbs up to first place, plus 163.6, just ahead of Nathan at the top of C1. Kevin, plus 46.2, did end up dipping down a little bit in this series, but still in position to make a run at promotion, and a whole half of the season left to go. Same is the story for Steven and Nicholas, who both have a little bit of ground to make up, but still half the season to make that up in. And Steven, that big first place, really helping out. Now, I think Steven ended up going positive in the series, perhaps, and perhaps going to go positive in the standings by the end of the next series in session 4.
I believe that should be it for today, correct?
Yes, that is the last game of the evening. We had anticipated potentially casting some B2 matches as well, but these C1 games, they were playing all 4 and they were so exciting. We just stayed on this table, but it would be interesting to look at the results from that B2 table. It was Sichuan, Hanlei, Wenchen, and Kayla playing. In the first game, Sichuan found the first place, plus 23.3, and Hanlei got the second. Those were the 2 positive scores at that table. In the second match, it was again the same 2 players in the same order, first and second, and Kayla managed a positive third as well. And so for the B2 standings, a quick peek has one of those players, Sichuan, in first place with plus 219.3, really well positioned to advance in B2. Just needs to hold it off in the second half of the season to guarantee that promotion.
Yeah. Let's see if you can pull it up real quick, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. We'll do a quick name switch for one of these players and a quick update. Yeah, there they go. So we can see the B2 standings here after I believe Sichuan had the Yakuman earlier, about a week ago, and
Oh,
then continued on winning two games in a row to climb up to first place overall. So very good series for them. And the rest of the players, Kayla managing to stay out of the demotion zone, Hanla as well in good, well, not in the danger zone just yet, just above the edge there. And Wenchen at plus 16.1, not in the promotion zone, but at least in the positive, so very safe.
yeah.
And we've seen players come up with plus 100 sessions, and over the course of 3 series, it's not unlikely that one of these players will gain over 100 points, and we'll see if that
Yeah.
ends up moving them into a promotion slot or not.
Ooh. Yeah, very exciting to see how this develops. It looks swingy at first with like given the gap between Gaohan and Wenshen, but you never know what can happen. It's still at the end of the day, Mahjong's Mahjong, right?
Right? And they could end up in a series against each other, which could make it even swingier. But of course, I look forward every season to the final session where you have the most dramatic results. And we've seen some pretty dramatic results already. You know, days where we've had multiple Yakuman or multiple rare Yaku. And it's only going to get better as the season continues on. And as we enter the second half of the season, that starts in 2 days, we're also pretty close to the summer session starting. We're halfway there, essentially. So if you've already registered and you've joined our channels, you can, I'm sure you've already started some of the practice games and checking out the what would you discard channels and all the fun things that we've got. And if anyone hasn't joined yet, that is something you might want to be looking into. Registration is open until June 19th on our website. And actually, let me put the link for that up. AmericanRichi.org. If you visit that website, it's the first thing you'll see is that registration link for the summer season. It starts, I think, the week after registration ends. So that'd be right around June 26th, just about, for the start of the summer session. And it goes on for 6 sessions of 2-week periods. So 12-week seasons. And if you have our Twitter followed, you can be alerted whenever we go live. Of course, Twitch follow works just as well. For videos of our previous broadcasts, also, you can check out our YouTube channel. That's listed at tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. That's the fast link to it. And, well, Blake, before we sign off for the evening, any last thoughts about the action we saw?
Oh, that was such a fun session to watch. I'm glad we got all 4.
Yeah, it's pretty
Uh,
rare that we get an entire table, all 4 games through. We came in a little bit late in the first one, so some technical difficulties, but I'm glad we managed to fix those because it
yeah,
was really exciting. And also, it's one of the we haven't seen as much C1 action yet. We've caught a few tables, but there's some really strong players who have joined the league this season, and it's been really exciting to see some of the creative play in this division, the entry
yeah.
division into the league.
It looked very nasty.
It's very
It,
intense, and
yeah,
I really enjoy watching the excitement that this division brings. It's been so much fun to watch, and of course
especially that all last in the second
that
game
one was the best one.
where where everyone was either Honitsu or Chinitsu.
When everyone has a flush, no discard is safe, and it just adds to the craziness of the evening. And so hopefully we'll be able to catch even more from these players and from this division as a whole moving into the latter half of the season. And I'm checking the calendar to see when our next broadcast could be. It looks like as we are moving into a new session in a couple days, it'll take a little bit of time for games to be scheduled. So we do not have a broadcast scheduled just yet. However, I do know that Wednesday, we always have a broadcast on a Wednesday. So the 17th, put it on your calendars. We will be broadcasting more Mahjong action for you from session 4. And if there happen to just miraculously be no games that day, we'll just do some log reviews and see what's been going on around the league. So look forward to that. That being said, thanks Blake for stepping in and providing some excellent commentary. So glad that you could join as always.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. And this has been Nathaniel Blake. Thanking you for watching. Hoping to see you in the next broadcast. Have a good one.